Have you ever thought about who deserves your kindness as you grow older? Maybe you were raised to be kind to everyone, to give your time, your patience, and your heart freely. But as the years add up, as the seasons change, you begin to realize something important. Your time, your energy, your peace. These are precious resources, and they are not meant to be handed out freely to just anyone who asks for a piece of them. Because here's the truth, kindness can be a gift, but sometimes, kindness can become a trap. There are people around us who thrive on our generosity, our patience, our silence, and the longer you let them in, the more they take. The older you get, the more you see this clearly. In today's video, we're going to talk about 5 types of people you should stop being kind to in your later years. These are not strangers or distant acquaintances. They are often the people closest to you, family, neighbors, old friends, the ones who quietly drain you in ways you may not even realize. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly who to watch out for, why their presence wears you down, and, most importantly, how to protect your emotional health without guilt or apology. Because your later years aren't for fixing people, they're for protecting what's left of your peace. Yes, your peace. So let's get started. Number 1, the constant taker. One of the clearest signs that someone no longer deserves your kindness is when they only show up to take. You know the type. When they call, it's never just to check in or to share a laugh. It's to ask for something, a favor, a ride, a loan, your time. And they always seem to need it now, right now. Think about Gloria, 71, who had always been the go-to person in her family. Need a last-minute babysitter? Gloria. Need someone to watch the dog during vacation? Gloria. She never said no. But slowly, Gloria noticed something. When it was her birthday, the phone stayed silent. When she was sick, no one sent soup or a message. No one showed up. It hit her hard. The relationships weren't mutual. She was always the giver, always giving. But the giving never came back. And here's the hard truth. Yes, it's hard. But if someone only values you when you're useful, then they don't really value you at all. You're not a person to them. You're a service. And at this stage in life, that is dangerous. Because your resources, your time, your energy, your strength, are not unlimited anymore. Giving them to someone who only takes is like pouring water into a cup with a hole at the bottom. You get nothing back. Yes, you are allowed. No, you must. Say no. You are allowed to set boundaries. You are allowed to protect that quiet strength you still have. And if someone walks away because you stop saying yes every single time, that tells you everything you need to know. You were never loved. You were just convenient. So please, don't let kindness become a burden. Don't let generosity become a chain. Because in these years, every moment you give should be one that feeds you back in return. Here are some practical tips that can help. Start noticing when interactions feel one-sided. When you're giving more than you're receiving, and not in the healthy way of love and care, pause. Practice saying, "No, I'm sorry, I can't help this time," and watch how your energy begins to rebuild. And remember, saying no is not selfish. It's an act of self-respect. You deserve to be valued for who you are, not just what you can do. Number 2, the chronic critic. There's a special kind of weariness that comes from spending time with someone who always finds something wrong. Not in loud or obvious ways, but in small, steady doses that cut deeper than you'd expect. You know the type. They don't shout or curse. No, their words are softer, but the sting is real. They comment on your clothes, your choices, your past, always finding a flaw or a reason to doubt. And over time, that quiet criticism wears you down. Take, for instance, a situation like this. Imagine visiting a relative every week, trying to stay connected and bring a little joy, maybe carrying fresh bread or a small gift. But during each visit, instead of warmth, you receive comments like, "Your hair looks different," or "Why did you sell that old chair?" or "You always take things too personally." At first, you might laugh it off, thinking it's harmless or just a passing comment. But over time, those small remarks start to build up. They begin to make you feel smaller, question your own choices, and lose the joy you once felt in those visits. Eventually, you start dreading the meetings, bracing yourself for the next criticism. That's the danger of chronic criticism. It's not just about the words themselves, but the slow erosion of your self-trust and peace. But here's the truth you need to hear. At this age, you've earned the right to feel safe in your own skin. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to please anyone, and you certainly don't need to explain why you like what you like or live how you live. If someone always leaves you feeling wrong, small, or broken, yes, that's a sign. You owe it to yourself to stop giving them a front row seat in your life. Being kind doesn't mean accepting abuse, no matter how politely it's wrapped up. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to step back and say, I'm done letting you rewrite my story in your voice. Practical tip. Try this. When criticism comes, pause. Ask yourself, does this serve me? Does it build me up or tear me down? Practice setting boundaries by gently but firmly redirecting the conversation or excusing yourself if needed. Remember, protecting your peace is an act of kindness to yourself. You don't owe anyone your approval or your silence. Number 3, the guilt tripper. When kindness feels like a burden. Have you ever been around someone who doesn't raise their voice or argue, yet somehow makes you feel like you're constantly falling short? Like no matter what you do, it's never quite enough. That's the power of the guilt tripper, a subtle, quiet drain on your peace. These people don't push or demand loudly. Instead, they use looks, silences, or carefully placed words that sink deep into your heart and make you question yourself. You might hear phrases like, I thought family would be there for me, or I guess I just expected more from you, after you politely say no. That little pang of guilt they spark isn't just an emotion, it's a tool. A way to keep you giving, and giving, long after your own tank feels empty. And here's the tricky part. Guilt is a powerful motivator. It makes you second-guess your decisions. It convinces you to apologize even when you've done nothing wrong. It whispers that setting boundaries is selfish and that your own needs come last. For seniors who often carry decades of responsibility, loyalty, and caregiving, this emotional manipulation can feel impossible to shake off. But you have to hear this. Your peace is precious. It's not a luxury, it's your right. The quiet pressure of a guilt tripper can wear you down, steal your energy, and leave you feeling isolated inside your own generosity. The truth is, kindness doesn't mean surrendering your boundaries. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you wise. It means you're choosing self-respect over obligation. It means you're honoring your well-being. Practical tips to protect your peace. Start noticing when guilt feels like pressure. Is the request reasonable? Or is it a pattern designed to wear you down? Practice saying gentle but firm no statements. You don't owe long explanations. A simple, I'm sorry I can't help right now, is enough. Remind yourself that your needs matter. You're not responsible for others' happiness at the cost of your own health. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, not those who drain you with guilt. Consider speaking with a counselor or joining a support group. Sharing your feelings helps you regain perspective and strength. Kindness is a gift, but it should never come with chains. Your later years deserve peace, respect, and boundaries that protect your heart. Saying no can be the most loving, freeing act you do. For you. Number 4, the secret competitor. When friendship feels like a quiet battle. Not every challenge in life shows itself openly. Some battles are fought beneath the surface, hidden behind smiles, kind words, and polite encouragement. These are the struggles with the secret competitor. The person who, while seeming supportive, can't help but measure their success against yours. They don't throw punches or shout insults. Instead, They use subtle comparisons and quiet jabs that gradually chip away at your confidence. It might be a comment on your achievements, your appearance, or your choices. Something like, "That's an interesting project for your age," or "I didn't know you could do that at this stage." On the surface, these words might seem like compliments or jokes, but underneath, they carry a message. You shouldn't shine brighter than I do. This kind of subtle rivalry is especially painful in our later years when we crave warmth, acceptance, and genuine connection more than ever. Instead of feeling celebrated, you might start to feel minimized, as if your victories aren't truly yours, but something to be questioned or diminished. The secret competitor sows seeds of doubt, making you wonder if you really deserve your accomplishments or happiness. And over time, these small moments add up, causing you to shrink your light, silence your joy, and hesitate to share your successes. But here's a truth that needs to be spoken clearly. You don't have to compete anymore. Your journey is unique. You've overcome so much, grown through challenges, and earned every moment of peace and happiness you experience now. Practical tips to guard against secret competition. Recognize the signs. Are conversations filled with subtle comparisons? Do you feel drained after spending time with this person? Celebrate your own wins unapologetically. You deserve pride in your accomplishments, no matter your age or the opinions of others. Choose to spend time with those who genuinely cheer for you and who celebrate your progress without reservation. Set boundaries around conversations that turn competitive or judgmental. Remind yourself that true friendship is about support and joy, not rivalry. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire, those who make your light burn brighter, not dimmer. At this stage in life, your circle should feel like a warm fire, not a cold scoreboard. Number 5, the passive-aggressive manipulator. When kindness is met with silence and subtle digs. Some people don't wear their emotions on their sleeve. They won't confront you openly or argue directly. Instead, they've mastered a quieter, more exhausting form of manipulation, passive aggression. It's the sarcastic remark that stings beneath the surface, the silent treatment that leaves you guessing, the jokes that carry a hidden bite. This kind of behavior can be especially draining as we grow older because it slips in unnoticed. It chips away at your peace slowly, making you question yourself. Am I overreacting? Was that really an insult? Passive-aggressive manipulators avoid responsibility by pretending they didn't mean it that way, or flipping the narrative so you feel like the problem. They might cancel plans without explanation, ignore your messages, or toss subtle barbs wrapped in a smile. And when you try to address the issue, they accuse you of being too sensitive or dramatic. Living around this kind of emotional uncertainty is exhausting. You might find yourself walking on eggshells, avoiding conversations, or shrinking your needs just to keep the peace that never truly existed. At this stage in life, peace isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. And anyone who disrupts that peace with emotional games is someone you don't need close. Practical tips to protect your peace. Recognize the behavior without internalizing it. Passive aggression is about them, not you. Refuse to engage in emotional ping-pong. Sometimes stepping away is the most powerful response. Set clear, calm boundaries. You don't have to respond to every slight or explain yourself repeatedly. Surround yourself with people who communicate openly and honestly. Prioritize your well-being. Your emotional health is worth protecting fiercely. Remember, a smile without sincerity is just a mask. You've lived too long to accept anything less than genuine kindness and respect. Let your final chapters be filled with people who mean what they say and say what they mean. Anything less is just noise. And you deserve so much better than that. So, as we've seen from this video so far, these 5 types of people represent emotional drains that quietly chip away at your peace, your energy, and your joy. Especially in these precious later years when every moment counts, You owe it to yourself to protect your heart and your mind. You've carried more than your fair share. You've forgiven when you shouldn't have had to. You've stayed silent to keep the peace, even when it cost you. But now it's time for a different kind of kindness, the kindness you give to yourself. These years aren't about enduring toxicity or emotional exhaustion. They're about reclaiming your space, setting firm boundaries, and choosing who gets to share your time, your love, and your light. You have the right, yes, the absolute right, to say no, to step back, and to surround yourself only with those who lift you up and celebrate your life. And if walking away from someone you've known for years feels hard, know this: sometimes the greatest act of kindness is the one you give yourself. Saying enough isn't selfish, it's brave, it's self-respect, and it's the foundation for a more peaceful, fulfilling, and joyful chapter. So take a quiet moment today, reflect honestly. Who in your life drains you? Who pulls at your peace instead of fueling your soul? And what small step can you take right now to protect your emotional well-being? You deserve relationships that bring warmth, laughter, and understanding. You deserve to feel safe, valued, and whole. Thank you for spending this time with us. If any part of today's message touched your heart, please leave a comment below. Share one insight you're taking with you or a boundary you're ready to set. Your comment might just be the encouragement someone else needs. And don't forget, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss content created to support your health, happiness, and peace of mind. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.